Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Blue Archive. In the last part, we start off the Halo Festival. Everything was going pretty good. Games have been going really well, people are having a good time. Had some problems crop up out of nowhere, but everyone's enjoying themselves. Unfortunately, I guess there's some suspicious activity going on, so we gotta help Hasumi and the Valkyrie Police School sort it out. So let's find out what happens. I have a feeling things are not going to be as peaceful as they have been. Looks like they're long gone. Ashiro, we've seen the students I described earlier. They should be carrying boxes of equipment. Maybe I should restore my boost stacks. Negative. I've been surveying the area for the light tower, and I haven't seen any students matching your description. I've asked the other members to report if they saw anything, but I've been receiving varying responses. We haven't been able to pinpoint a credible location so far. Karina, do you remember what they look like? What they look like? Let me see. I think they had short hair, wearing gym clothes. They were also wearing sneakers. I mean, that's very descriptive. Thanks. You just described every student in Kivotos. She's right, they were pretty nondescript. They didn't really stand out to me, so I don't remember much. I'm sorry, I should have gotten a better look at their faces. Don't apologize, we wouldn't have been aware of the situation if not for you. Oh man. It's a shame, but it's a shame we're so short-handed. We'll figure something out, don't you worry. Don't you worry. If this was Trinity, the criminals would be apprehended by now. Is there a problem here? I know that voice. There they are. The executives from Gehenna, Trinity, and Millennium all together. I never thought I'd see this combination. Us? A combination? Please don't consider us a set. Hey, I don't like getting grouped with you either. I don't want to be seen as in cohorts with some monster. Yeesh. Excuse me? What'd you just call me? Lord. Let's not fight, everyone. Please? What brings you all here? I was coming back from the infirmary and I happened to see these two collapse onto a bench. You decided to go to a cafe to recharge a little bit and get out of the heat. But Hasumi, you seem troubled. So is everything okay? I think so. It's likely nothing to be of concern. These Valkyrie students here reported they saw some students moving equipment without permission. I wanted to investigate it just in case. We wouldn't want the sports equipment to fall into the wrong hands. What did you just say? That's an enormous concern. Is that so? Yes. Do you know how much all that equipment costs? If someone steals it, the financial losses. To make matters worse, all the equipment was specifically developed for the Halo Festival using Millennium technology, so the potential for malicious misuse is high. Just last month, some troublemakers from Gehenna attached a flamethrower to a cleaning robot that was stolen from Millennium and wreaked havoc. A simple cleaning robot caused so much damage that an entire unit of the prefect team was incapacitated. If someone abuses the equipment integrated with Millennium technology, there's no telling what could happen. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good. I hate to say it, but that cleaning robot probably already had the flamethrower installed. That only proves my point. We need to act immediately. Yuka, all the Millennium's assets are equipped with electronic tags, right? Well, lag starts to switch over. I should restart. I should start BlueStacks, honestly. Please check the inventory list for any equipment that wasn't returned after the games and what time the respective game ended. I'll check the access records for key facilities and put together a list of students who accessed the tracks around that time. I'm already on it. What a peculiar situation. Why is Hannah deigning to help any of us? Huh? I'm not trying to help you, or Trinity, or Millennium. We're still executive members of the Kivotos Halo Festival. I'm simply doing my job to make sure nothing disrupts the Gehenna Academy's operations, just in case. If the culprit is from Gehenna, we need to catch them quickly so we aren't billed for unnecessary charges. Oh, that's the story you're going with, huh? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Oh boy. I guess so. Oh, Lord. We'll case the area and question any students to find potential witnesses. Can we ask for your help, Mari? Understood. I'm gonna start BlueStacks after this. It's starting to lag pretty badly. Usually a restart fixes the problem. So you saw some students with equipment boxes heading toward an underground entrance? Exactly, they were struggling with a box full of metal pieces, but they rejected my offer to help them. Rather aggressively, I might add. I thought that was strange. It stood out to me, so I watched to see what direction they went. I put together a list of equipment that haven't been returned. Boxes of shot put balls, hurdles for the solo obstacle race. And these are all the students who entered the stadium after the games, even though they weren't contestants. Carino, do you recognize any of the faces? Oh, that person! That's the one who was moving the equipment! Based on the evidence, it seems that student was secretly moving equipment down to the underground entrance of the stadium. The underground entrance? But we opted to not use that space because it was too small to be of any use. What could they possibly do in there with all that equipment? The only way to find out is by catching them. Let's get moving while the trail is still fresh. The Kivotos Halo Festival is an exciting sports festival that happens every 2 years. By participating in the festival splashed all over the news, you can make history as a hero and even become a leading role model, leaving the inspiring messages for the students that will follow after. So that means if we stage a protest here, its effects will ripple across all of Kivotos. But boss, security from every academy, and even students from the Valkyrie Police Corps are at the athletic stadium. If we try to protest, won't the executive committee just shut us down right away? There's nothing to worry about. The Chronos Channel's camera is recording every moment. Even the executive committee won't be able to lift a finger against us. Plus, as long as we're here at the underground entrance, they won't be able to use bombs for fear of damaging the stadium. They'll fail to get through our barricade and be forced to negotiate. Boss, you really thought all this through. You're amazing. Yes, now let's use this momentum to start a protest for a 3-day work week. So you're telling me you stole our expensive equipment to create a barricade to argue for something that is menial as a 3-day work week? Busted. What? The executive committee is here. Busted. How do they find us? Huh. Unknown students not participating in the games or taking equipment from the stadium. Did you truly believe that won't stand out? Huh. In addition, there are robots responsible for moving equipment for the field day, so it was even more suspicious. I didn't even think of that. More importantly, what nonsense were you spouting earlier? A 3-day work week? I would understand a 4-day work week, but 3? You expect to have more weekend days than work days in a week? Shut up! And how many people in the world like working more than playing? If the General Student Council truly cared about the students' well-being, they would give us the 4 days of rest a week. That's right. Sensei, you're an adult, remember? You can't agree with them. Back to the subject. We need to face consequences for violating school rules and trying to disrupt this Kivotos Halo Festival. I won't punish you for stealing the equipment if you return it immediately, but if you find any damages, you'll be charged for the repairs. Do you think it'll be that easy to scare us off? We prepared something for exactly this scenario. Oh jeez, that thing's back again. We stole a tank that was parked outside the stadium. Oh god. Tank? Oh, wait, that's probably not a tank. What do you mean? If it's not a tank, then what is it? It has continuous tracks, steel armor, and a machine gun. What else could it be? She has a point. Can't argue with that. Plus, we were just about to finish our super durable barricade. This barricade is built with metal and wood. It's impenetrable. I bet even the Gehenna Prefect team and Trinity Justice Task Force together couldn't get through it. You called? The boss? What do we do? The Prefect team, Justice Task Force, and Seminar are all here together. Don't be scared, we have a tank, remember? They might be members of the student councils, but there aren't many of them. We just mow them all down. Well then, go, Borgius Crasher. The Cheerby has yet another name. What's wrong with the stupid tank? It won't move! That's because it's not a tank. The Zeran department removed its combat features during yesterday's repairs. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. We hardly need to call in the cavalry. I'm relieved my worries were unfounded, although I'm surprised that we wrapped this up so quickly. Nah, don't look down on us! Oh man. Retreat for now. We'll garner more support for our 3-day work week, and there'll be nothing you can do to stop our protests. Hey, get back here! They're gonna listen. Hello and welcome back to the Colonel's channel. We hope everyone enjoyed a delicious lunch at one of the many food stalls outside the stadium. With morning matches complete, let's see where everyone lands in the rankings. The Gehenna Academy took a surprising lead as soon as the turn started. They managed to keep the first place spot. Just gonna get rid of the lag. Wow, the Millennium Science School is now reigning at the top of the leaderboard. The Millennium Science School, a school better known for the math formulas than their penalty kicks. I don't think anyone was expecting them to perform well. I guess home field advantage is a real thing. But their lead is hardly a comfortable one, so they better keep their eyes peeled for Gehenna and training right behind them. With competition as fierce, there's no way to tell who will emerge the victor after the afternoon games. And the next game we get to look forward to is the obstacle race. This race is all about being the fastest athlete there while overcoming the various obstacles laid out throughout the track. You're absolutely right. There's so many difficult obstacles designed to slow down and disrupt the runners. There's everything from ninja caltrops to what the fuck are caltrops? To bottle caps that look like 500 yen coins, and even stuff cats in boxes with "Please adopt me" written on them. Oh no! I think the cats in the boxes distract me from the race. I think that struck a lot of people out, honestly. To make things more interesting, they've added a special rule for this year's race. Instead of a baton, the runners will have a large grenade with an electronic detonator inside. That doesn't sound safe at all. Does that mean runners will be passing off a grenade to each other instead of a traditional baton? That sounds dangerous. That's what makes it exciting, as long as it's handed over to the next runner and time won't detonate. Oh, jeez. If it takes too long, you'd be disqualified in a shocking explosion. They implemented this rule to encourage teamwork rather than each school relying on their ace. Now, which academy will be blessed with the goddess of luck this time? Guess we'll find out, right? The contestants representing the Abydos in the obstacle race are Serika, Hoshino, and Shiroko. Maybe they're the only students of Abydos. I'm so nervous. Listen this to me. Grenades, abandoned cats. Why is it so complicated? We have to win this game if we want the prize for the first place. I don't want to be disappointed if you can't. I don't want you to be disappointed if you can't. A small school like ours doesn't stand much of a chance. But regardless, we'll do our best. If we put on a good show in the games, maybe more students will be interested in transferring to Abydos. Allow me to educate you, my adorable underclassmen. You're not going to gain the attention you want by doing well on the field day. What you're really going to gain is traction. What you're really going to gain traction is by showing off in the grandstands. The grandstands? Oh, there she is. I was wondering where Nonami was going to be. Yep, the cheer squad is in the grandstands. Look, I talked to Hoshino and she inspired me to prepare some cheer poses. So she's a cheerleader, huh? Let's go, you can do it! Fight! Swimsuit cheer squad. What the heck is swimsuit cheer squad? That sounds stupid. I prepared something too, actually. Uh-oh. Oh no. See? A 60mm anti-tank rocket. For what? Warning shots, obviously. Cheering is important to raise your team's morale, but they say the best defense is attack. You also need to crush your opponent's spirit. As soon as the other team see me enter with this intimidating rocket, they'll be engulfed with hopelessness and despair. I like it, Shiroko. Having a strong mentality is half the battle. I don't think that's the same. How fun! I don't think it works that way. But man, there's no way they'll permit that. No, they won't. I'd be shocked if they did. The large grenade that will be used in the obstacle race might look like old models of a friction igniter, but it's actually an advanced electronic igniter that works with a sensor on the handle. But because we made them in a hurry yesterday, I'm not quite sure if they'll work properly. Then it's a craftsman's duty to test her invention by participating in the game herself. Utaha, I'll test the grenade igniter during the game. Can you please help cheer us on? Of course, you can cheer to us. I wish I could just enter the race. Are you still feeling apprehensive, Hibiki? Remember, you're a member of the cheer squad now. It is your duty to bring the energy and attitude required to cheer on our team. Come on now, put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. Happy face. Happy faces. My bad. I don't think Hibiki is happy. Is not happy in any shape, way, or in any shape, shape, or form. That's what I want to say. Let's go, fight, let's win Millennium! Millennium! She's not thrilled by this at all. I'm so tired. I'm getting mixed up in all these weird incidents since last night. Oh boy, what have I been doing? If I relax at all, I might pass out. Look alive, Rabbit Squad. The Halo Festival is far from over. And a diabolical terrorist could be planning the next move of speak. Well, she's not wrong. The radar is showing a rather large object approaching the track. What is that? Oh, is that the cheer robot? I want to be part of this annoying race. But Anko said if I make it into the top 3, she'll give me a general meal ticket so I can eat anything I want at the Kivotos Halo Festival. I guess I can try a little. And with the bang of the flare gun, the participants are off. Look at them go with speed. Looks like the college drops track didn't cause too much trouble for any of these seasoned athletes. Now they just need to hand the grenade to the second runner. Oh boy. Next obstacle is... Oh, is that the cheer tank? Huh? What's that sound? Uh-oh. Those stubborn bastards. Stop following me! Is that a tank? Why is there a tank barreling down the stadium? I have the answer to that. That ball-shaped robot is the cheer bot we made in preparation for field day. It has an ergonomic round shape and continuous track so they can quickly move across any terrain. We couldn't use it in the end due to a minor accident. So the real question is, what's it doing here? A cheer bot? That's a massive machine gun attached to it. That's a combat system we installed to instantly subdue any terrorists in the event of an attack at the festival. But that feature unfortunately had to be disabled in the end. It won't work unless it detects a direct threat, or perhaps it's powerful shock of some sort. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Shiroko, I told you not to use it! Who in the world fires an anti-tank rocket at an innocent cheer bot? Is that wrong? Of course it is! That looked really expensive. I hope it's okay. Explosion from a warhead with a potential force 400 millimeters or higher detected. Activating comments. Oh jeez. Thanks, Shiroko. Identifying delinquent students within a kilometer radius. 3 students carrying illegal JHP bullets. 7 students wearing unauthorized homemade gym clothes. And 5 students eating food while... Oh no. The criteria for a delinquent is pretty strict, huh? We use Seminar's decision-making algorithm for the AI's machine learning. Parameters may have been affected by a certain cold-hearted treasurer. Investigation complete. All students in the kilometer radius will be marked as delinquent students. Uh-oh. Power up! Eliminate! Oh boy. What's going on? Why is there a tank attacking us? Is it going crazy because of the explosion? Shiroko, this is all your fault. I don't have any control over it. Help! Delinquent students who disrupt the field day will be eliminated. Oh no. I knew it! The Millennium Terrorists finally made their entrance! I mean, it's not really a terrorist attack. It's more like a protest gone wrong. We'll get close and use a grenade, that'll do the trick. The grenade just glanced off it like it was a feather. Saki! Are you getting all this? A tank suddenly entered the track during this obstacle race and started attacking the students. How did such a terrifying weapon find its way into a peaceful Halo festival? This is the scoop. Breaking news! What's that tank, Yuka? The operation schedule didn't mention using a tank during the festival. I don't know anything about it either. I didn't think it was an actual tank. The protesters took it. I thought it was just a replica or something. Oh, it was an actual tank. I guess you didn't get the full story. I find it rather suspicious how it talks exactly like you. Stuff like eliminate them and delinquents. Oh boy. I don't talk like that. More importantly, what is that tank, Sensei? What happened while I was asleep yesterday? The thing is, it's kind of a long story. We can explain once we get a handle of the situation. Alright, can you explain it? Please help evacuate the spectators. Yes. The rest of you, we're going to subdue that tank. That's what I was going to say. I don't need your orders. They're going to write a 10-page report after this. Oh no. After the dust had finally settled, the cheer box was finally shut down. We completely destroyed its tracks and power supplies, so we're in the clear now. We've apprehended the delinquent students who were trying to stage the protest, and thankfully it seems they weren't able to garner much support for their efforts. All the athletes have been evacuated and all the injured were sent to the Joint Medical Center. The situation seems to be under control now. Good work, everyone. I know I said this was part of being an executive committee for the Kivotos Halo Festival, but I also didn't expect having to fight alongside students from other schools. Do you have a problem with that? The opposite, actually. The novelty of it was somewhat refreshing. I'm well aware of Trinity's combative capabilities, but Millennium's ability to process information and adapt quickly on the battlefield was impressive. We wouldn't have been so successful if you hadn't identified the enemy's weaknesses so quickly. I see where Millennium's student council gets the reputation. Your kindness is a little suspicious. Well, it is a fact that you're the one who made the robot that caused this whole incident. Don't blame our technology. I mean, yes, the engineering department does tend to add unnecessary features to their inventions, but still the fault of the protesters for using it improperly. Please don't worry, Yuka. No one is asking Millennium to take responsibility. Oh. Well, anyway, that kind of data analysis is on par for the course. As Seminar's treasurer, calculations are my specialty. I think Kasumi's shooting skills are much more worthy of praise. How'd you hit a moving turret with such precision even without using a scope? What's your secret? It's hard to explain. Intuition, I suppose? I think I've naturally picked it up from working for the Justice Task Force for so long. Interesting. You usually put much more stock into formulas than intuition than Millennium. Do you mind if we run some measurements and record you as you're shooting when you have time? I'd love to be of assistance. Everyone did a great job today. You as well, Sensei. Your command led us to victory as usual. Well, we'll have some parfait to go if you guys have time. Thank you, but I think you're short-handed at the Joint Medical Center. I was just about to head over to help. I'm way more tired than hunger right now. I'm gonna go rest in the lounge. I'm heading over to the Chihana Athletes Lobby right now. I want to see how the head prefect is doing before the last match. What about you, Hasumi? I'll pass on the parfait, unfortunately. Since I don't have anything pressing to address, I think I'll take a small break and patrol the perimeter. Why don't you join the game yourself? I bet a new experience would be fun. Look like playing the games. The games? I've already told you, participating in the festival isn't part of my job description. if it's to contribute to Trinity's victory, actually for the success of the festival, it's better for students with strong physical talents like Tsurugi to participate. I'm more than happy in my current position, but, well, if you'll excuse me. Did you see that? Did you see me take their hat at the very last second? What a shame. I would have won if I hadn't tripped in the beginning. I'll be the MVP next time. You guys better watch out. I'll take that challenge. I'd be happy to add another victory in my belt. Seems everyone is enjoying the festival. Well, of course, it's a festival and there's much to enjoy. Sensei said it would be more fun if I joined the games, but naturally, not everyone can mindlessly enjoy the festival. Peace can only be maintained with someone's sacrifice. I have to maintain vigilant. I have to remain vigilant for the sake of justice. What do we do? Who could have predicted the president would faint from an upset stomach right before the finals? I warned you about those takoyaki. The ingredients may seem normal, but the fact that it could walk was definitely not normal. Uh-oh. I think I know who made that. Twinkling octopus, round takoyaki. Maybe there's a solution in the clouds. I wish there was something I could do, but I don't have a lot of friends. Where can we find someone? Well, we do have exactly 4 people. Those students are definitely from Hyakuyaku. I see. The next game is the final match between Hyakuyaku and the Millennium Academy. Millennium currently has the lead. I hope the Hyakuyaku team can stop them in their tracks. Oh, why don't you take her place, Tsukuyo? That's impossible. If someone as big as me were to try to get on top, everything would collapse. Maybe I can do it then. But I'm way too short to hold anyone. An octopus in a jar. Dreams of food poisoning. It seems this match will be an easy win for Millennium. It's a shame, but I shouldn't get involved in matters from other schools. I can't think of anything. If only I could think of a secret plan like Kaibe from the Lonely 77 Wandering Ninjas. We would win this no problemo. I'm sorry. I wish I had gotten food poisoning instead. I'm so big, useless. I'm sorry I exist. I'm too tall. What are you apologizing for? Who? They're huge. I was gonna stay out of this, but I couldn't let that comment go. Do you understand the rules for the upcoming cavalry battle? Of course we do. We combine we combine to create a horse and put a jockey on top, and the jockey has to steal the other jockey's hats. Yeah, if the jockey steals the other team's hats first is the winner. If you want to be able to reach and grab a hat from someone's head, it's easy to do so if you have the higher ground. Which means that height is an extreme advantage during the cavalry battle. I see. But if Tsukuyo is part of the horse, it would be hard to balance considering all of our heights. Maybe we could wear some very, very high heels. You're misunderstanding. The students making up the horse don't always need to be the same height. You can just place the platform under the shorter student and equalize your horse. I don't get it though. How do we move if we're on the platform? You don't. It's not technically any. There's not technically any rules that say you need to stop the same movement throughout the battle. People just default to that because being stationary makes you need to target. But if both students are on large platforms, I doubt the other jockeys will even be able to reach your hat. It would be like making a castle. Then it's just like ninjas protecting the Lord's residence. How did you come up with such an awesome strategy so fast? It's just like the time Kaibe picked up his black ears and blocked a massive army in episode 108 of the Lonely 77 Wandering Ninjas. Sir Kaibe? Are you talking to me? My name's Hasumi. I'm sorry, Hasumi, please lend us your wisdom. Wisdom? Ever since our president fainted, we've been wandering around like vagabonds who lost their master. We need a tactician at a time like this. We need your help, Hasumi. Yes, if the super smart lady from Trinity helps us, we'll definitely win. A hot afternoon. Girl with black wings. This must be fate. Please. Okay, fine. I'm on break anyway, and it would benefit Trinity in the long run. I'll help you. So that's the excuse she's gonna use, huh? The only other big match left after the Cavalry battle is the Academy Relay Race, right? Yep, these are the last chances to rack up a lot of points and take home the trophy. I can't believe Millennium actually has a chance to win the Halo Festival. We've always been last place. This just Field Day has been filled with so many surprises. According to rumors, that teacher from Shell adjusted the program so that students who aren't very good at sports could enjoy the games. Maybe that's the difference? Well, Gehenna or Trinity is the most likely winner of the Cavalry game, but they're already exhausted from the preliminaries. At least we can definitely beat the allied Hyakuyaku Academy. They'll be easy pickings. Awesome, let's beat them and secure Millennium's victory. Huh? What in the world is that? Ta-da! Preparations are complete! We completed the ninjutsu! the castle fortification technique with Hasumi's help. Dude, do you really think this is gonna work? It feels kind of unstable. My top over soon even blows on us. Don't worry, the left and right players aren't meant to protect the jockey. Kaide and Izuna, you just need to watch the side and back and tell Chise where the enemy is. An enemy surveillance operation! Understood. This is way easier than fighting a Hercules beetle with your bare eyes. We've got this. That's a funny looking horse over there. They look like they're going to fall even without us doing anything. Should we attack that one first? Yeah, target the weak first! Jeez, the enemy jockey's approaching from the northeast. Are they coming to us already? Wait, they're huge! They're so tall up close, I can't even reach her hat! Don't panic, they're so unstable we can just crash into them and take their hat. The hat. It's mine. Huh? Where's my hat? They got me! Chise, was that a ninjutsu? You move so fast! Chise is the champion of the Karuta tournament of Hyakuyaku. When it comes to dexterity, no one is more skilled. The enemy might focus on the jockey as a weakness, but the jockey is also the only one who's able to attack. We may be a little unstable, but thankfully our jockey has quick hands. Chise, another enemy to your right! Ambush them from the blind spot! Now I have two. She caught me. Cavalry battle finale between Millennium and Hyakuyaku is taking place as we speak. And this event has taken a very unexpected turn. The Hyakuyaku team has already disqualified two jockeys within the first minute, and Chise is their jockey. They might have looked funny at the beginning, but the horses from Hyakuyaku have established a strong defense that the other horses can't seem to penetrate. Millennium can't afford to lose this match if they want to keep their first place lead. Who will come out on top? We're going to lose without even putting up a fight at this rate. Maki, help me out here. Huh? Me? I thought I was just filling out the numbers because Hair bailed. She was supposed to be the jockey. Physical strength isn't exactly my strong point. Aren't you the most famous hacker in Veritas or something? Isn't there something you can do? Chihiro's gonna flip out if she finds out. But I may as well help while I'm here. I'll use the Athena 3 I brought from Hair. We're the only ones left from Hyakuyaku. How many enemies are left? We got rid of two teams ourselves, so I think there's only one team left. Are you sure? There's three teams in front of me right now. Oh. A little late to the party, aren't ya? Two teams you see are fake holograms. We created dummies using the hologram projection function built into the FN 3. What you think? Not such a walk in the park anymore, huh? What the heck? Is this some kind of technology cheating? Unfortunately, the rules are a bit too vague for it to be considered cheating. There are rules against using guns and bombs in the cavalry battle, but there's nothing about creating illusions with holograms. It's just not explicitly stated. No one expected them to use that sort of technology. They'll probably have to add some rules against the use of holograms for the next festival. They made two of them! There's no end to the surprises with Millennium. They're likely going to rush you. You don't have time to figure out which one's the real one. Using Tsukuyo, it's time for you to shine. Huh? What do I do? Ninjutsu! Ninjutsu! Ninjutsu? Isn't that kind of like magic? Well, this should be interesting. So it's Millennium's holographic technology against Yako's ninjutsu. Let's see which one's better. Now let's get it! Tsukuyo Ninja Scroll! I got it! Millennium wins! Huh? It's just a dog. Then where's the enemy jockey? Jeez, snatched it. You're very slow. What? How are you so fast? She got me! Now I have 3. That's our champion. I knew you'd win, Cheese. I thought we were done for. We aren't, thanks to you, Tsukuyo. You performed the ninjutsu so fast. You're awesome. If you're even a second slower and switching Cheese with the doll, they would have had our hat. It looks like it was like whoosh. I was so high. I don't think I can do that again. Cheese, can you please let go now? I think my hair is going to pull out. Cheese still Maki's hat with an extravagant acrobatic strike. All Millennium's jockeys are now disqualified, which means the Hyakko team is the winner. Nice. I got a little too excited for a moment. Hasumi, did you see that? We won, and it was all thanks to you, Hasumi. Yeah, so watched every moment. You did excellently. I thought we were done for when the president fainted. You even let a big useless student like me play in that important role. Thank you so much. Please, this victory belongs entirely to each of you. I'm happy to have assisted. It was so much fun. Everyone worked hard together regardless of affiliation and used their strengths to achieve this victory. It felt like I was the main character in a movie by Shiba Dog Wang Wang. Oh god. Wong Wong? How do you want to call it? I hope we'll be able to play another game with you, Hasumi. But I'm a Trinity student. Next time we may be enemies. That's okay. It doesn't matter if we're allies or enemies. As long as we play with you, it'll be fun. Yeah, I thought it was a blast. I'll never forget this experience. That's how it is. But please don't think I'll be merciful if we meet on the field. As a Trinity student, I'll always put in my effort to do anything I do. I wouldn't expect anything less. See you again next time. See you. Is she gonna participate now? Hello viewers, the exciting Kivotos Halo Festival is reaching its end. This next game is the grand finale, the Academy Relay Race. The results of the relay race will determine the victor of the Kivotos Halo Festival. You know, normally we would have had a pretty good idea who the winner is by now. Oh, who is in the lead right now? Well, you see, try not to be too shocked. Trinity, Gehenna, and Millennium are all in first place. They're all tied. What? They're tied without a single point difference. That's right, Trinity and Gihanna usually go head-to-head in the last game of the field day. But Millennium went above and beyond everyone's expectations and is giving them a run for money this year. This year's relay race is looking to be an intense one, so don't miss out. You'll be able to watch the entire thing from start to finish on the Chronos channel. So it comes down to this last race. Each school will have to choose their contestants wisely. Hey, did you hear? President Hina, the prefect team, went missing. No way. What happened to her? She just went missing? I hope nothing bad happened. But doesn't that mean we're in trouble for the last race? There was no one better to represent Gihanna than Hina. Seriously, I hope this doesn't mean we stand no chance. This is our only chance to beat Trinity. President Hina from Gihanna Prefect team is missing? I do hope she's okay, but if Gihanna's strongest player is out, Trinity's chances of winning has increased. If we put our faster runners in the front and create some distance from the other runners, we can take the lead and win. It looks like we currently have a Kazusa from the After School Sweets Club and San from the Vigilante crew. They should be able to do it. And of course, the important role of anchor can go to Tsurugi. Nope, not doing it. What do you mean? Why? Were you injured in the last game? Of course not. Do you think I would get hurt? I've just done my part for this year's field day is all. The other students should get to play too. Tsurugi, are you tired? No, I'm not tired. It's smart. Well, this Halo Festival is supposed to be for anyone and everyone, right? I don't think it's right for me to play every game just because I'm our strongest player. It'd be fun to participate in more events, but a lot of Trinity students haven't even gotten to play in a single one. And to make matters worse, whoever runs as the anchor leg of the race becomes the focus of everyone's attention. I don't like having all his eyes on me. I understand where you're coming from. However, where we will find a replacement for you on such short notice? A replacement? Hasumi, why not you? What? Me? Be the anchor? Yes, why is that surprising? Tsurugi, we don't have time for such jokes. You're aware of that this relay race will determine which academy wins the entire festival, yes? Everyone is scrambling to send out the best athletes, and I hardly fit the bill. My apologies for interrupting, but I agree with Tsurugi. You too, Mashiro? Why? Why is everyone so intent on embarrassing me? Embarrassing you? That's not what we're trying to do. You already know very well that I'm not the quickest on my feet. And even if Trinity sends their strongest runners and Millennium their weakest, I don't have the capability to compete in a foot race. Trinity could end up losing the festival because someone like me wasn't able to perform the most important event of the day. How do you expect me to shoulder that burden? Is winning really that important? Of course it is! Before taking part in this field day, I took some time to look up the history and ideology behind the Kivotos Halo Festival. The Sports Festival has long functioned as a venue for the students of Kivotos to test their limits to potential. But since everyone's physical characteristics are different, the Kivotos Halo Festival has continuously revised its rules throughout the years to ensure it is fair and equitable for all. But if we were to start providing certain athletes with more opportunities based on their innate physical attributes with the purpose of winning above all else, can you really call that a fair Kivotos Halo Festival? Can you really call that justice? I suppose I see your point. There's another reason I agree with Tsurugi. Hasumi, you were so busy with the executive committee duties all day that you didn't get a chance to take part in any of the games, right? You worked harder than anyone else to ensure this festival ran smoothly, but you don't get any recognition on camera, not even once. I believe Hasumi deserved the chance to show all the Kivotos just how brightly she can shine in the very last event of the day. I want to see Hasumi compete. Yeah, me too. I think Hasumi's shooting skills are much more worthy of praise. It Doesn't matter if we're allies or enemies, as long as we can play with you, it'll be fun. I bet a new experience would be fun. You always do whatever you want, don't you? Fine, I'll run as anchor for Trinity. And you can be sure that I will see this job through until the end, regardless of my physical capabilities. If I'm going to participate in the relay race, I'll bring home the championship for Trinity no matter what. Nice, that's what I like to hear. We'll be cheering you on from the sidelines. Good luck, Hasumi. And the third runners have taken off. Calling the final runners for each school. Please report to the track. Huh? Vice President Hasumi? Yuka? Hasumi, if you're here, does that mean you're the anchor runner for Trinity? Yes, I am. And I guess you're running anchor for Millennium, Yuka. Yep, that's right. I'm not any good at running track, to be honest, but I was forced into it because the seminar students refused to participate in the games unless I ran. They're being ridiculous. I don't know why they're being so stubborn when we might actually have a shot at winning. What? Did I say something funny? Oh no, is there something on my face? Not at all, I just think I can appreciate what you're dealing with. But that doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Right back at you! That wasn't my first choice. This wasn't my first choice, but as long as I'm here, I'll do everything I can to bring Millennium victory. I admire your resolve, but I assure you the winner of the Halo Festival is going to be Trinity. And here we have the final runners approaching the exchange point. Oof, I squeezed out every ounce of my energy I had on this race. It's over for me. Baton received! And the final runners are off! Well, wait a second, I don't have my baton yet! Chihana's Junko misses the baton, takes a spill. My, what a disastrous fumble! This is sure to take Chihana out of the running. There you are, Hasumi. We meet again. What an intimidating aura! Well, I am a ninja in training, and I shall not back down. I refuse to surrender. Neither will I. Such youthful energy. You see Hoshi, Shiroko in the background. This energy is contagious even for an old grandma like me. I thought you were an old man. I guess you switched from being an old man to a grandma. Hoshi, if you made the pass, then get the heck off the track. How much longer until the finish line? I'm so out of breath that I can't see straight. I don't even know where the other runners are. Right now, flying across the track as everyone cheers me on, my mind feels clearer than ever. This must be what they call a runner's high. The body is at its absolute limit, but I feel more and more ecstatic with each step I take. I feel like I could run like this forever. Hasumi crosses the finish line! I did it! Hasumi comes in 6th place! Huh? It was a close call, but Yuka overtook you for 5th by just a hair. You did wonderfully out there, so don't be disappointed. Well done! I came in 6th? Then who won? Did you all see that? Despite taking a nasty fall right at the start, Junko managed to catch up to the other runners and win the race. What incredible speed! There's no other way to describe it. It was a dramatic comeback worthy of the Halo Festival. Did you see? Were you watching? I came in 1st! Exactly as planned. I knew Junko would be capable of winning. Are you sure? I swear I almost remember you saying something along the lines of, I never should have trusted those abnormal gourmet research society members when Junko fell. Well, in the end, her worries were not for naught, and Chihana came in 1st. I knew Junko would be the star of this Kivotos Star Festival. Then we can use this general meal ticket to gorge ourselves on anything we want now, right? Right? Hurry, hurry. What if we run out of food? Well, I suppose that's that. I ran so hard. Can't believe I only placed 5th. This is why I don't want to run anchor. Great job, Yuka. You too, Vice President Hasumi. Now that the final game is concluded, it's time for our announcements. The winning academy of the Kivotos Halo Festival is... G. Henna! After the relay race, the Kivotos Halo Festival was wrapped up without much fuss. It came to a successful end with the closing address by a representative for the Millennium Academy. Greetings, athletes and spectators. My name is Ushio Noah of the Millennium Academy. I am the Secretary of Seminar and a member of the Executive Committee for the Kivotos Halo Festival. Originally, the closing address was supposed to be delivered by the Millennium Academy student President Rio, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I'll be taking over as speaker today. Thank you for understanding. As I said before, as a secretary and scribe, I'm more used to writing down stories and telling them, so I'm a little stumped on how to share my thoughts in these closing remarks. Therefore, in place of a closing address, I'd like to provide a bit of a retrospective of today's events, as an extension of my regular secretarial duties. This year's Kivotos Halo Festival saw many events and games with countless athletes rising up to represent their schools. It is my personal opinion that each and every event was a thrilling showdown worthy of applause, although perhaps not all you share the sentiment. Regardless, it was a spectacular field day. I couldn't pick one school or one student single out for showing incredible sportsmanship and giving an incredible performance, because each and every one of you did so. So, the message I would like to leave you all with this is, I would like to express my deep gratitude to all students who came and performed their fullest capabilities on this field day. After all, like I said during the opening ceremony, the Kivotos Halo Festival is an event by the students and for the students, meant to be enjoyed by all. And with that, I hope that everyone had a fantastic time, and I hereby declare a successful conclusion of the Kivotos Halo Festival. What should we do now? There's still a lot of stuff to look around the stadium. Yeah, but honestly, I'm pretty hungry. I heard the vendors are staying open late, even though the event's over. I want to try those Chinese rice bowls we didn't have time for earlier. I saw a huge pile of firewood in front of the stadium earlier. I wonder if they're going to have a bonfire? There's going to be an after party, didn't you know? That's one of the key attractions of the Kivotos Halo Festival. An after party with a huge fire and folk dancing for all the students. There's even a legend that says if you dance your crush around the fire, your love will blossom and last forever. Is there anyone you want to dance with at the after party? I think I'd want to dance with... We'll never know. Hasumi, all the necessary equipment and fire extinguishers for the after party festivities are ready. And here's a summary you asked for on the amount of ammo consumed during the festival. Thank you. You've been immensely helpful. When the after party begins, students may be reckless during around the bonfire, so please pay strict attention to security. Let's ensure the festivities can conclude on a high note. Understood. I see your hard work to the very end, Hasumi. Oh, Sensei. Thank you for everything you did today. You were instrumental in ensuring the Kivotos Halo Festival went off without a hitch. Still thinking about how much work the executive committee had to do. Did you have fun at the Halo Festival, Hasumi? Me? You wanna know how I felt about the festival? Well, to be honest, it was awful. Not only was my performance subpar, but in the end I had to stand up and watch as Chihana was awarded the victory at the podium. To make matters worse, we had the endless hijinks of misbehaving students, the constant malfunctioning of Millennium's latest robotics, finally the overwhelming amount of street vendors hawking ultra-high-calorie snacks tempting me to ruin my diet right and left. It was the worst Kivotos Halo Festival ever. But I also had the privilege of seeing many students work together to win their matches. And even if I didn't do well, it was exhilarating running. With all my power on the track. So at the very least, I can't deny I had fun. I'm happy to hear it. Obviously, it would have been better if Trinity had won the championship. But since I'm an anchor for the Academy Relay, I guess I can't really blame anyone else. Anyway, Sensei, those students standing behind you. Behind me? Huh. Yuka, Aqua, and Mari? What do you think you're doing here? Well, you see, you have to part with the beginning soon. We were curious if you were planning on attending. I promise our intention wasn't to eavesdrop in your conversation. I'm sorry. It's not like I care about legends or anything. But if you don't have a folk dancing partner, I just wanted to let you know that I don't have one either, so I could keep you company, if you'd like. I don't care in the slightest for dancing, but I just saw you two speaking together. I was hoping to hear some dirt I could tease you about later. But alas, you three truly don't change. The games may be over, but there is still plenty of work to be done, including for the after party. Aren't any of you concerned with your actual responsibilities as executive committee members? Hey, I've already taken care of all the urgent stuff, okay? I don't need to hear this from a Trinity student. But you know, I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we put off a little work so we can enjoy the festivities every once in a while. It'll take them quite a bit of time to get the campfire ready. So, would anyone like some tea, especially gifted by the tea party? Alright! I was expecting a little bit more of a better ending than that, but I guess that's that. Oh, man. That is the Halo Festival. The sports day is over! Oh, shit. It was a pretty fun event, though. I liked it. But, that's gonna be it for this part. I think the next story coming out is in a couple weeks. I think if I remember correctly, sometime in May. And I believe the next story that's coming out is another chapter in the game development story. So we're finally gonna do a continuation off of them, because they haven't been a focal point at all since we did their respective story. So it'll be nice to see all of them again. But that's gonna be it for this part. I'm not quite sure when the next video is gonna come out for Blue Archive. So whenever that's gonna be, I will see you in the next part. Later.